pop in. There's not a lot of combat to begin with tonight, so it's a lot of we get into a lot of storytelling, and I figure you guys probably I don't know what you guys want to do, but when last we met, you infiltrated and basically obliterated a small cult on New Graka. You busted into this place. Well, you came in and you sat through a meeting and you asked some questions and you didn't like their answers, so you beat them all up. But you had permission from command, so you're clear. You're in the clear. But as we ended,
we tried.
You were speaking with Sister Spark, her excellency. I mean, her craziness. She had just surrendered to you, thrown down her weapons, and surrendered, stating that she's the swarm's coming here. Why this show of futile resistance? We can't possibly defeat them. Our only hope is to join them.
Okay, watch this. Actually, don't watch that. Yeah, watch that link.
I vaporize hostiles.
It's like, I love that movie, dude. It's like, did you eliminate the hostiles? Eliminate hostiles? I vaporized hostiles.
What was that from?
Navy SEALs back in like '88.
Oh yeah.
Charlie Sheen.
Mm-hmm. Good movie. I love the golf course scene.
I love that movie so much. It's unhealthy.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So you guys are in control of the establishment. It's after hours. You've been through most of the facility as far as you've swept it. There's a few doors you haven't opened down in the south end of the facility. But you haven't encountered any more hostiles or, not so hostiles.
All right, let's search the loot for loot and get
her.
Well,
so in Sister Spark's room, you note that she has a desk over here where she was apparently sitting and or at least getting ready to do some work. On the desk is a computer. And you have to give me a perception check. If you search the desk,
take 20.
You back there yet, Eagle?
No. Oh, maybe.
Can you hear us, Eagle Bears? I haven't heard you yet.
No.
No, he bounced.
I had a weird mic issue when I started.
Yeah, I'm on a crazy laptop. I'm dealing with stuff. Hey, how's it going, Eagle Bears?
Well, that's annoying.
Hey, I can hear him.
I can hear you.
Well, my Discord on my computer doesn't want to work, so I'm on my phone again.
Bad luck.
It worked earlier for my other campaign today, so I don't know what that was.
It doesn't like Starfinder.
Maybe it's just my server. My server.
It's not Starfinder capable. Oh, it was? Shit. It doesn't like us.
Or maybe it's time of day. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, we know that Erebus is going to be late tonight, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Our buddy Alder will probably show up at some point in time if he remembers we're playing.
Alder got sleepy and is taking a nap in the
He's
pet
taking
carrier.
a nap in his pet carrier. It's fine. You guys just don't have his excellent people skills.
Yeah,
right now.
We're screwed.
Right now, I did a quick recap. You guys have Sister Spark surrendering to you, and Stelly has asked about loot in the room, of which I mentioned there was a desk with a computer on it. And that's about as far as we've gotten.
Oh no, I think. Oh wait, no, Adjutant, you're the best one with computers.
Yeah, my perception's like crap. So,
Momo, over there in that room, you see a large computer console area. Looks like it runs the projectors in the front room. So there's a large computer there as well, and you noted you recall that there was a bed and kind of a small bunking area back in that corner.
Yeah. Well, we should probably be systematic about this.
We should definitely tie her up, though.
Oh, sure. I mean, she doesn't look like she's anything of a threat at this point, right? She's surrendered.
She's surrendering, but that doesn't mean she won't change her mind later when you turn your back on her.
Of course.
It's easy enough to bind her and set her on the couch out of the way. She keeps prattling on about the swarm, and the resistance is futile. Join us before you are all slain. Blah blah blah. But as long as you keep a guard on her, she's not going to try anything silly.
Shall we assign, as long as Erebus isn't here, to the job of keeping a close watch on?
I'm sure she wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah.
Actually, she would probably enjoy it.
Yeah. Actually, is it? Do we think it's worth trying to get her to save us some computer checks?
You could try. You could start that conversation, but
I know someone who's really good at it, but they're taking a nap right now.
Well, the other issue is based on the comments she's been making so far, you're pretty sure she's pretty much a zealot. So you don't think she's probably going to give much up to people who don't follow her faith.
Gotcha.
But you could search around the desk, maybe tap into the computer, see what you find. Search around the rooms, see what you find.
Did we frisk her though?
You checked her. You looked for what gear she had on. She had she was just wearing casual station wear, murmur sonic suppressor, which is a weapon, and a sonic weapon, obviously, and a tactical switchblade, which you've removed from her possession. I'm pretty sure that's all in the loots. I gave that to you guys last time.
But no, like, key card or something or whatever.
No, you didn't find a key card on her. Actually, I don't see it in the loots there. Did I give that to you guys last time?
I
don't think I did. I did not give you her gear. So just for the record, since you said you wanted to loot her.
To loot her.
That's what she had on her person. Then there was all of the bad guys, all of her bad guys, her bubbas, the reckoners. They all had loot on them. Let's see, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I added some extras to make it a little tougher on you guys. It wasn't a lot tougher on you guys, was it? They were mooks. They were pretty much mooks, but 8 times.
Do they all have those sticky bomb grenades? One of them threw it.
Yeah, they all had a smoke and sticky bomb grenade. So basically, you can figure that they only threw 2 of them, I think. So there's like, we'll just put in here -2 sticky bombs. So yeah, you've got a load of grenades now, Momo.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
They don't do any damage, but you got a bunch of grenades.
They're very useful.
They're definitely useful. But now it's up to you guys. You're at the place. You've taken over the compound. A lot better than Waco.
Real quick, just so
Zach lives.
I'm putting it in the loot drop, Phil, but I believe there was one. I only recall one sticky bomb grenade getting thrown.
Only one?
Yes,
All
so
right, I'll
I'm
go with
putting
that.
in. I'm putting in 8 and no smoke. So I'm putting in 8 smoke grenades and 7 sticky bombs.
That sounds fine. I see what you've done there.
Stick them to your body and just run into places.
My mother has a leather office chair, and I'm sweating to it.
Because you're in Tech's ass.
Yeah, well, we did get the air conditioner fixed. Holy crap! It went out the second day I was here. It died.
Yeah, I won't live anywhere where the temperature goes above 75 without AC.
The house was over 90. It was like 96 in the house.
Yep.
It was unbearable.
Dear.
I know. I hear you there.
I mean, it's a 10-year-old air conditioning unit, so it wasn't a surprise.
You probably
a big
were
surprise.
you probably were better off going outside with the breeze.
We were actually her patio is completely enclosed with a metal structure,
Oh God.
and well, it has a window unit that works.
Okay.
So we set up a whole bunch of temporary beds outside and camped on the patio with the air conditioner out there cooling it down.
Lovely.
Hey,
Yay!
what's
We
up,
have
Jack?
somebody with like a perception roll now. We're not going to
Why
You're
totally
muted
fail.
on Discord.
Perception's not awful, I don't think.
We're not going to totally fail now.
When you do a perception, or did I miss that now?
Oh, we're trying to we gotta loot this
If
place.
you wanted to look over the desk or anything, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have control of the place. You move around, check around for whatever you want. You don't find anything earth-shattering as you look around the desk, Tari or Adjutant. But what you do find is you both find a small crate under the table. Taking a look inside, you see that there's 6 frag grenades, Type 2, and a detonator.
A decorated Green Beret.
Exactly, Alder. Exactly. If you and Momo are currently in the display control room, the back room for the stage, and there was a small bed chamber as well as the large computer setup that you guys could take a look at.
Sure. We can go check that out. Oh, did we look at the body of the weird
The bug?
Yeah.
It's okay. You can call him a bug. He's a Sheeran.
I couldn't remember.
If you take a look at
Does
the
he have an
Sheeran-
exoskeleton? Then he's a bug.
He's a bug. Let's see. He had gear as well. And I don't think you guys have taken his gear either. You kind of blew past him pretty quick, worrying about all the other stuff. So there's his gear.
Spell Gem of Life Bubble. Very nice.
And that's his gear.
Momo will just say, "Hey, one of you guys who's better getting into computers than I am, want to take a look at the computer in here? I don't know if there's anything useful in it, but I might break it."
How's that?
Which computer is that for, Adjutant? Because there's a computer in Spark's desk, and then there's the big computer. The one at Spark's desk appears to be like a simple tier 1 type computer. The one in the other room appears to be much larger and possibly more encrypted.
I'll start with the one that's in this room.
All right. It actually turns out it's a tier 2 computer, but 21 was enough to crack the initial security layers, and you find files within that contain plans to sabotage New Graka's spaceport and a list of all reckoners not currently residing at the Hall. It would be very useful for the SDF and local law enforcement in stopping them from committing any further crimes. However, you also notice I don't know why I got signed out of Zoom. I don't know why I was in Zoom. You also notice some other files that have the little lock symbol on them.
Ooh, looks juicy. Is that a computer's check to get into those?
Oh, absolutely. They've got further encryption.
Not too much better.
Well, yeah, it wasn't enough. Access denied.
Ooh.
Heck.
But no countermeasures.
You don't notice anything, no. You're already in the computer. The files still appear to be there, so they haven't been necessarily wiped.
I'll try again.
Let's see, what's that saying?
That's not better.
Yeah, you're not having any luck with them files. Maybe someone else can.
A plus 12 isn't helping.
Or is Erebus the computers expert in the party?
Actually, I think Adjutant, you're the best one.
Just having bad rolls. It is a small tier 2 computer. It's easy enough to take with you. Throw it in Stelly's backpack or something if you want to work on it later.
Yeah, 3 checks aren't going to do it, I guess.
No.
Sadly, no.
Yep, Momo will happily, if we could take it with us, Momo will take it take along.
Yeah, I'm not even trained yet, so.
So are we doing we have to do individual perception checks? We can't just take 10 or 20 and searching this room?
It depends. I mean, if you take 20 and search this room, you're just going to be occupied for a bit. Alder's willing to take the time. There's not too much to find in this room. It's pretty cut and dry. It's a bunk room to say the most about it. But as you check underneath the cot, you find a Mark 1 mobility enhancer armor upgrade.
Ooh.
I gotta actually type these out because I'm using my mother's computer for Roll20 and my laptop for the PDF. So I can't copy paste real quick things that I didn't actually put in here. I didn't put a whole lot in, but I type pretty quick, so it's not too bad. That's pretty much all you find in the bunk room. What is Tari doing this time? Well, Adjutant's playing with the computer, and the others are searching the other room.
I don't know what to do and search somewhere.
I'll take the mobility enhancer if nobody else wants it.
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Where would a good place to search be? I guess is a good place.
All right.
Well, you recall that you guys came through the front room. Is probably not going to contain much.
Yeah.
You know that you down southwise.
Yeah.
You guys came through a bunk room, which might have some foot lockers or something, and there were also 3 doors in the hallway on the south side that no one checked.
Hey, you can take out an upgrade slot, right? Like you can take something out of it, right? And
you can remove an armor upgrade and install another upgrade. It just takes a
Yeah.
little bit of time.
Okay, I'll just do that then because I got a thermal
You've got
regulator
time.
and don't need that right now.
You don't want it.
I mean, I do want it, but I don't have no upgrade slots. Maybe when I get some power armor and I have some more upgrade slots.
There you go.
Well, once we're done in this room, Momo will and Alder maybe will step out. And Momo will just say, "Hey, Adjutant, if you want to, maybe take a look at this one. Maybe it's easier to figure out."
Tippity tap. I know your stuff now.
Well, you find this one. It's more difficult, but you seem to have a stroke of luck with it, and are able to crack the access. It's not so much the system access that you're having issues with. It seems to be file access. In the case of this computer, you find that most of the files just contain images of the swarm creatures and some rare footage of a swarm battle culled from some dark infosphere somewhere. You see recordings of potential recruits who openly discuss sedition with Sister Spark, retained for purposes of future blackmail, probably. Local law enforcement would be very interested in obtaining these recordings.
Yeah, I don't think now is really the time to be arresting people because the swarm's going to eventually be here.
If they're going to counteract your preparations, you don't want to do
Yeah,
that.
gotta make sure we ain't got no fifth column up in here.
I mean, I understand that, but I'm just trying to be like, think, like 2 weeks ahead when bad things are going to happen.
Alder's pretty strict. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to. He's not giving them any room to budge.
I mean, I'm not saying that we shouldn't give this information, but you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm trying to think for that we need every body available for to fight these things.
Did you want to go inspect the bunker room?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys can move around the map and see what's out there. You're confident that there are no more enemies in the building.
Okay.
You're pretty sure that the battle you waged would have brought anyone to come. Alder, you guys did search that room. There wasn't much in there other than the computer and the bunk room.
Yeah, we'll go down to these rooms, I guess, down here in the bottom.
Let me grab those doors for you. Momo, you find a lavatory.
Oh, good. I needed to take a leak.
And Adjutant, you find what appears to be a kitchen. The stovetop and the counter run along the southern and eastern walls. Both are crusted with dried food and other unrecognizable stains. A deep sink in one corner is filled with dirty metal dishes. Apparently they use it, but they don't clean it.
Jerks. I mean, who does that?
Gross.
Bugs happen. I mean, wait a second. We're going to have bugs here anyway.
They're inviting them.
Well,
They're setting up fruit,
them.
man.
They're setting up for them. I mean, they like the bugs.
Those jerks.
They want to join them. That's what Spark keeps telling you guys. Resistance is futile. Join us.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go get the raid.
Ray!
All right. Momo fails to find anything in the bathroom.
There's nothing to find in the restroom. There's a simple toilet, a shower stall, and a small metal sink. They don't look to have been used.
At all? Like ever?
Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe that's what the alleyway
Oh,
was for.
that's why they're going nuts. They're keeping everything bottled up. I read about this.
Adjutant, as you were heading over to the towards Momo and Alder, you check that one room, and this appears to be a storage area. You open the door and take a quick look in, and you see that there's various boxes of sundries, cooking supplies for the kitchen, and unused cleaning supplies, as well as some haphazardly stacked boxes and crates.
Yeah, I'll take a look for a 24.
Yeah, checking through them, you actually find a box that contains 1,000 UPBs. Congratulations. You found the loot.
Nice.
And then Tari, you wanted to check the bunk room.
Yeah.
So going through the Tufts bunk room, this room is cramped, contains the 3 old bunk beds, some rusty metal footlockers pushed underneath of them, a ragged couch on the eastern wall, and the smell of stale sweat hanging in the air. Checking the footlockers, you find a few changes of clothes, and one of them contains a static polarity rifle. You should be able to find the statistics and whatnot on Archives of Nethys. It's also in the Armory, page 20. It has 2 high-capacity batteries with it.
Nice.
And that pretty much is a scouring of the unit. You have 7 dead toughs, 1 unconscious tough, and Sister Spark, who has surrendered to your persons.
Oh, that's right. We have one. We do have 1 living tough. That's right. So. Yeah, can we send this stuff on to Commander Najiri?
Hey, you remembered her name. She's happy that you decided to report in. She says she has no missions for you now. If you return to City Hall, that would be good. And with regards to the prisoners, contact the local law enforcement and turn them in, and that will make your trip back to City Hall easier.
And you had said, who were the people, Phil, that were discovered to be? Well, what sort of people were we discovered? Where we're communicating with they were blackmailing?
There's a list of a number of officials and others that were being blackmailed by Sister Spark. You found a file on her computer, basically a spreadsheet that listed the ones being blackmailed. So that can be they can be relieved of that.
Maybe we can send it to local law enforcement, but very obviously CC Commander Najiri, so that they know that somebody it's just in case those people might oversee the local law enforcement. We want to make sure they know that they're not the only ones who've been given this information.
Oh, sure. I mean, the local law enforcement is working with the SDF right now.
All right.
Everybody's got their hands full, so.
Sure.
So working together. Where did I tell you that was? I'm not even seeing a list of all reckoners not currently residing at the hall. Did I tell you that? I know I remember telling you that, but I don't remember where it says it. Let's see. 1 desk, grenades. Yeah. All right. Well, you got that information, but I don't remember where it said that. Oh, there was the stuff on the other computer, the videos, the recruitment videos, where they were speaking of open sedition and whatnot, and let's see. She doesn't fight you as she's turned into the local law enforcement. And when you get back to City Hall, Commander Najiri provides you some desks where you can sit at, and so you can sit and ponder over that computer and agitate. You can sure, Alder. You can go over that computer, and you set to getting those files open, and eventually you do manage to crack them, since there's no specific countermeasures on them. And what you find is a 3D wireframe map showing a small collection of underground caverns. A short tunnel to the surface is marked with the word entrance, but there is no indication where the caves are. This map is accompanied by a scan of what appears to be stylistic stone carvings that resemble swarm creatures. She had made some notes on the file that reference the location as a sacred site that could be used as a bolt hole should the Reckoners be subjected to a raid.
Hey, maybe we can go back over to Sister Spark, find out where this is.
You could contact Alder's got something in mind.
Ooh. Oh yeah, he still owes us.
He doesn't owe you. He's your friend.
Oh, well, okay.
Or at least he thinks he is.
Well, we did kind of save his ass.
True. There we go.
Sure. So you ring up Zolanon. He's not too busy. So you checked in on these reckoners. What'd you guys find out?
Oh, yeah, hey, Adjutant, can you show him that map?
Yeah, sure. Take a look.
Oh, yeah, it looks caves. These New Graka is littered with caves. Part of the process of this natural world. There's lots of caves and tunnels eroded by the seas and stuff. And when the Susquehaners came here, they told me about this chemical they use to stabilize the rock so it doesn't get eaten away and doesn't have cave-ins and sinkholes and stuff. It's probably somewhere under the city. I can't imagine where. Have you considered cross-referencing other maps of the city?
Ooh.
No. Try that.
Ooh, that was a great idea.
We would have thought of that.
Where can we find more maps to cross-reference?
Certainly,
Library.
Infosphere is a good place to start your search. There's your casual search of the history pages on the Infosphere doesn't turn up much,
Space
but
Google.
you can attempt to delve deeper. Perhaps someone with cultural knowledge might know more.
I mean,
I like that.
I have that too. No, I don't. Shit. It's trained
Ooh,
only.
gross.
Damn it.
All right,
Torture.
Adjutant and Alder, you both succeed. And you recall that the early Sheeran pioneers were refugees escaping from the swarm centuries ago. Um, let's see, perhaps they. What the fuck, Mike?
What?
Let's see. So, centuries ago, the Sheeran attempted to settle on Utranus. At the same time that others of their population intermingled with the people of Susquehanna. It was unclear exactly what happened to these Sheeran, but the Susquehanners didn't detect any sentient life forms when they came to Utranus and began planning their colonization 100 years ago. Commander Najiri speaks with you, kind of listening in, and she thinks it would be incredibly difficult to build permanent structures on Utranus until the stabilization formula was created, and that the early Sheeran settlement must have failed.
Momo scratches his head for a minute and then just starts fiddling with grenades, thinking, I don't know what to do.
So we're supposed to find caves?
Perhaps.
There are people hiding there?
Perhaps. The Reckoners knew about these caves.
Hey. Oh, yeah. Would there be maps at City Hall?
Yeah, or a library.
Oh, yeah, I said to look for maps. Calling up a map of the city and the surrounding area, it reveals that the largest of the caves likely lies under the House of Friendship, a temple to Hylax in the neighborhood of New Graka called Old Town. Zelenon explains that the House of Friendship was one of the first structures built in New Graka, and the rest of the city grew around it. It looks like the small side tunnel marked entrance on the Reckoner's map seems to connect to the basement of a business named VibraClean, an automated laundry facility called a Sonomat that uses sonic energy to clean clothes.
That's a neat.
Anything else you're interested in? Want to ask about?
Can we see if maybe like Zelenon can give us an introduction to the local Temple of Hylax people?
Oh, certainly. I can meet you there if you like.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Well, you don't think the entrance, quote unquote, marked on the map is in the temple. It's
Yeah.
in a business nearby.
In the laundromat.
Yeah, the laundromat, the Sonomat. I will note that you, besides the map, you also found scans of stylistic stone carvings and a mention of a sacred site. The large cave is not connected to the temple, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
The temple seems to be built above the large cave. Spatially oriented above it.
But
with no specific connection.
But looking at this, if we're still like with Zelenon or something, Mom would say, would you be worried about if we were to check this out? Just make sure they ain't got nothing dangerous under there, like bombs to blow up the city or something. I mean, I wouldn't want to desecrate your cultural institutions, history stuff.
I think that the swarm is going to do that for us soon.
Well, yeah, but in the meantime.
Commander Najiri pipes up, and Nugraka desperately needs more emergency shelters when the swarm attacks. Whether or not there's anything of historical value to find in the caves, the area could be used as a refuge. Zenelin adds that the Reckoners thought the same thing, and must have thought the same thing. Conversation swings back to Commander Najiri, who says, rest of the military is busy with defensive preparations. I'm going to assign you guys to explore these caves and assess their stability. Once you're ready, head out there and survey the caves and ensure that they are free of dangerous wildlife so that relief workers can outfit them for occupation if necessary. Remember, you probably don't need this reminder, but if the Reckoners manage to enter the caves, you should keep an eye out for any surprises.
10-4, Commander.
No specific urgency on this task. Feel free to take a night off, get some rest, take care of any equipment you need to buy before you head out. And I'm sure if you have any other questions for Zelenon, he'll be happy to answer them.
Does he have any specific insight into the runes, and whatnot that are on the... No?
I'm no archaeologist, but from the style, I would guess they are at least a few hundred years old. It's entirely possible they are from that failed Shirin settlement on this planet. But the subject matter, it's quite disturbing. Do you see these characters? And he points at a few of them. They're Kucharni, the language of our ancestors, before the swarm. If you find any more of these reliefs in the caves, I would love to see them. Does anyone in the group actually speak Shirin? No Shirin?
I do.
No.
It does.
Damn it, I can't do anything except kill things, dude.
Yeah, I know. Neither can I.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Being an operative
Erebus
where you can do everything, man.
So
That's kind of their thing.
Albert speaks Shirin, as does Adjutant. So a couple of
I speak telepathy.
Yeah, you speak telepathy in common.
I speak Vesk.
Slanty and Castrovillian.
Yeah. So he tells you about the carvings and that there must have been Shirins in those caves at some point in time in the past.
Well, if we're gonna do any prep work, is anybody else excited about holding on to lots of grenades? I just don't want to assume. I don't want to be a jerk.
I can hold on to a couple because I can use them as well.
Yeah, that's fine. Then just tell me how many grenades you want, and I'll take the rest.
Let me look here.
Oh, I also got to figure out what my next or what grenade I'm gonna replace my I'm gonna make my active improvised one.
I will take 2 of the frag grenades and 2 sticky bombs, and then let you have the rest of them.
All right. Anybody else want to get down on grenades?
Only if I take it to dinner, you know.
Let's see. So Commander Nirjiri puts you on that assignment, and Zelenon asks that you let him know if you find any other historically significant items, and keep him in mind.
We need to find out what's in these caves and then use them as a bunker for people.
Potentially. So how that translates mechanically is that once you get into the caves, you've been instructed to survey them. Surveying a cavern takes a bit of time. It would take the group 10 minutes or a single person about 20 minutes. An engineering or survival check can be used to half that time. And returning comprehensive notes will result in extra XP. It doesn't really matter because you guys are going to get XP. You guys aren't really on an XP track. But surveying the caves gives you some idea how they could be used and is good information to report further on with regards to providing intel for the SDF and the local survival preparedness people.
And it's also going to likely turn up more reckoners, or as Eleanor asked us to look into it, the more information on the runes.
Right. The caves do seem to be in direct alignment with the House of Friendship, which was built almost directly on top of it. And perhaps the priests of Hylax who constructed the temple were drawn to the area somehow.
Oh, were we able to dig up any information on the Sharon that we killed?
The Sharon you killed? You figured out his name was Tiskik. But he seems to have been a member of Sister Sparks' group for some time, perhaps even before she created the Reckoners.
So he's not like related to the temple or anything?
Oh no, he's just a Sharon.
Okay. Well,
He's just a Sharon technomancer.
book people, book
He was
God.
a bad
temple.
guy.
Okay, well, I suggest we rest because I think some of you are a bit worn out.
Yeah, take a full day's rest. Return all of your hit points and health points and stamina points, every other points back to full. I think you guys have enough healing, or can be provided enough healing that you wouldn't need to leave injured.
Yeah.
Rock
I
and
don't
roll.
think anyone was injured that badly.
Does anyone need any time to make any purchases or update their character sheet in any format, fashion?
Unless we level.
No, you're not leveling. You
you
level
do,
at the end of the book.
You need to put your mobility enhancer in, Stilly.
Take care of that.
How much money did we get then, or whatever you said? Or...
Well, you found
we got-
1,000 UPBs. No one thoroughly checked Sister Sparks' desk, so.
Oh.
I thought we did.
Sure we did.
You checked it, and you recovered 3,000 credits from it. I forgot about that. Several cred sticks holding a total of 3,000 credits. You found the credits. You didn't find anything else spectacular.
Credits are pretty good though.
So we wind up with 3,000 credits, 1,000 UPBs.
Yeah.
And a bunch of grenades and everything else.
And a bunch of junk to sell off, yeah.
Yeah.
Momo, did you mark down the grenades?
Yes. Yeah. I took everything else.
Yeah, he
I
has-
got everything before you got in.
He has grenades attached to his body on all orifices.
That's correct.
Okay, so
He's
you
probably
got
wearing like
4 frag
3
grenade mark
bandoliers,
Yep.
3 or 4 bandoliers, and he's got grenades sticking out everywhere.
He's all 6 on grenades, man.
He's all 6, that's right.
All 6.
So the next morning, you meet Zelenon near in Old Town. It's a small district near the center of New Kraka. You can see that the architecture is distinctly older in style. Buildings are more compact, seem cozier than the steel frames and poured concrete typical in the rest of the city. A tiny park adds a bit of green and other bright colors to the area. Zelenon escorts you to the House of Friendship. You can see that it's the neighborhood's most prominent feature. multi-dome structure. It rises above the other buildings. It's large without being imposing. The front doors are wide open, and the courtyard is filled with tents erected in neat rows to house Susquehanna refugees. One central patch is left clear for gatherings where children of multiple species are gathered around a host Sheeran storyteller. Grim despair is hanging over the rest of New Kraka, but it doesn't seem to penetrate here. Zelenon shows you the area and speaks eloquently about it. This is what we need to save, he says. I believe your sonomat can be found around the corner that way, and he points down the street. You find ViberClean only 2 blocks from the House of Friendship. As you arrive, you note that it's open for business.
Before we go to the mat, I would like to ask for Zelenon to explain to the priest or the pastor, whatever they're called, what we're doing underneath, because it could have, since it's right above the cave, and if something happens in the cave, the building could get damaged. So,
please, be utmost careful. We have many refugees staying here right now, and there's no other place for them to go.
Gotcha.
I mean,
you wanted them to evacuate the building, right?
Well, I'm just letting them know that something may happen, so they should be aware of that and ready to do something if something does happen.
We will be most alert for any abnormal noises or changes. Thank you.
Hey, I just wanted to pipe in real quick because as long as we're in the city, credits are useful, right, Phil?
Yeah, credits are fine.
I mean, as opposed to another situation where we could only use UPBs.
Yeah, when you were at the battlefront, UPBs were the appropriate line because they were using a
3D printer on the front line.
Printer.
So, does anybody want to take advantage of that before we go in here, just in case there's a sudden swarm thing going on while we have a bunch of credits, or can we see if we can convert those credits to UPBs?
I would rather convert my credits to UPBs right now.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant.
Even if it has a couple pounds, I don't care. A couple bags of rice.
Let's say there's a shortage of UPBs right now. Just hold on to the numbers you've got. I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Jeez.
Plus, you need something from the military, right?
Yeah. Unless anybody wants to give just say Momo, you take all the money and I'll go buy a machine gun.
Honestly, I don't care what units you have your currency in. If you want it all in UPBs, put it all in UPBs.
Okay, it makes me feel better to know that I have them in UPBs. If you
guys want to stock gold instead of paper money, that's fine.
We need something more real. Okay.
That's more real. I can touch it. I can feel it. It has actual value.
We actually
value.
We can put it into a printer and print things out.
You've got a printer
on a ship, don't we?
No, you don't.
I thought we have a workbench on the ship.
No, but on the base we do, don't we? Or we have access to it.
The base you have access to them. You could get a BioVat.
Or we just steal a ship with a freaking workbench on it.
Yeah, you could get a workbench. I mean, you could make your own stuff without a 3D printer. So, anyway,
sorry for the interruption.
Not a problem. You make your way to ViberClean. As I said, as you arrive, you note that the sign says open. There's a glass front and a couple of double doors where you could go in and see what's going on. All the windows are kind of mirrored, probably to keep the heat out. Are you going to go in?
I mean, we don't really have a choice about going in, so.
Yeah. But you're not going to get to the tunnel if you don't go in and take a look around. Unless you blow the building up. That's not a challenge, Momo.
Momo, go.
Oh, yeah. We could do that.
All right. So entering the Sonomat, you notice that it says it's open for business, but you don't see any employees. The place is fully automated. The only employees you see are machines. There's a large hopper with a connected computer console near the front of the business where you assume customers deposit their dirty laundry, choose and pay for services desired, and receive some kind of object so that they can pick up their laundry later. The rest of the building seems to consist of pulsating sonic baths, irons attached to robotic arms, and a series of tracks near the ceiling that whisk clothing from station to station. You see a plastic door near, just behind the entry bench, the service desk, if you will, and the door is marked "Employees Only" and seems to lead to the rear of the building,
Before anybody goes to the door,
where you hear the bulk of the machinery running. So,
the plastic door. Let's check the terminal and see if there's anything that we can connect with the reckoners for services.
Yep.
Either like with their name or names of people or something, and see if we can, like, if there's some way to do it there, and then we can go traipsing around.
so someone's going to hack the service console.
Well, I don't think we even need to hack it. I'm just like, unless every single person that comes in there and uses it for the reckoners hacks it as well. Like, we're looking for code or.
If you want to look in the the beyond the front facing programming of the service
No,
console,
that's what I'm saying. Is
you have to hack.
The front facing, if there's anything regarding the reckoners or their names or anything.
It has a readout that is currently listing 0 pounds. It has a what appears to be a digital button for ready to pay. It's like Walmart self-serve.
Oh, okay.
There's no information on the front face of the terminal with regards to who has brought their laundry here. The console has a little slot where a ticket can be issued, discharged from the machine to the person dropping off their laundry.
That secret entrance, maybe it's got to be here somewhere, maybe behind one of the machines. I do got a detonator now. I could just blow up all these machines instead of the whole building. We can find what's under
have
them.
access to the machines right now. They're behind. You can hear the machines running.
Oh, okay.
They're behind the wall and the door that's marked "Employees Only."
Oh, I could blow up the wall then.
Or we could go through the plastic door.
Oh, well, I mean, all right, if you'd rather.
It does seem to be locked. Someone would have to engineer it open.
Oh!
It's plastic. We don't need to blow it up.
It's plastic, but it's very hard plastic. Adjutant pushes you all aside, steps up to the door, and quickly unlocks it before anyone starts placing charges or detonators or anything else crazy.
Oh, anything fun?
People are crazy.
Opening the door reveals the rear of the establishment. We'll give you something to blow up, Momo. Just wait.
Okay.
The rear of the facility is filled with the machinery that I described before. The air is musty and cobwebs crowd the corners of the rooms. That's not what I'm supposed to be reading yet. But there's a lot of pulsating sonic baths, irons attached to robotic arms, and the tracks on the ceiling whisking clothing from station to station. You all begin looking around, looking for any kind of inconsistencies or loose panels. Give me perception checks.
Great.
Stelly says great. He's the one that finds the loose panel.
Well, damn it. I guess the broken clock's right twice a day.
Yeah. Behind an automatic folding machine, you find a loose panel. Prying it open reveals a narrow staircase leading to a basement.
You've done it now.
It looks like this panel has been removed several times, somewhat recently. Heading down the stairs into the basement, you find that it has the basement is walled with cinder blocks. The air here is musty and cobwebs crowd the corners of the room. Aside from a filthy mop leaning against one wall and a handful of small chunks of rock scattered across the floor, the chamber is entirely bare.
Well, let's check it out, huh?
Check to see if there's another hidden.
Absolutely. More perception checks. Who finds the secret passage? It's not Stelly this time.
It's negative.
No, looks like Tari.
Tari, you notice over near a particular set of cinder blocks, the rubble is a little more prevalent, and you kind of press on a little bit. And it gives just a bit, but it's going to take a bit more strength to get the passage to open. Up to 3 of you could work together to try and push this opening
Hell yeah.
wide enough to reveal a passage.
I think that would be Momo.
It's going to be a strength check. It's a strength check. One person needs to make the check. Up to 2 others can aid.
I did not aid.
I would like to make a strength check.
Yes, I. All right. Are you a +3 too, Tari?
4 actually. So I got
Oh, then I will aid you for attempt to.
I got an augment and put it there.
So you're all on your own on this one, Tari. They failed to aid you.
17.
And 17's not enough to get the door open. You guys try again. After some time of pushing and working and shoving, you eventually manage to get the doors aside. Yeah, you guys can stop rolling. I'm just going to make you take 20.
Bag of water, okay? Leave me alone.
I know, like
You are back of water. Momo, there's no need to blow it up.
after the first time, Momo's like, guys, I might be able to save us some time. Just saying.
You're concerned that you should have some concern that blowing up the structures may make it less usable as an emergency shelter.
Yeah.
Using logic,
I
damn it.
know.
That's not true.
I'm just trying to role play.
That's why we have engineers, all right?
Well, you're going into ancient caves and tunnels, so there should be some concern that the structure, your part of your mandate, your directive at this point is to assess the structural stability of the caves. And without any knowledge, explosives might not be the best way to go about that.
Why are you bullying us, GM, okay?
Oh, you guys want to blow stuff up? I'll let everything crumble to the ground. But
I thought you weren't going to hold our hands. I thought you were going to go hard on us or something.
If you can't hold up to explosives, it's not good fun.
He won't do it.
All
Makes
right.
it up point.
All right, so you eventually get the passageway cleared. It leads down. The tunnel is dark, only 6 feet high, requiring requiring the tallest of you to duck your heads while descending. What are you guys doing for light sources? I
Vision.
know
It's almost undefeated.
some of you can't.
To get you some new eyes. Some robot eyes.
Momo, do you or Alder have a light source?
thought we actually had a flashlight.
I've got both a flashlight and a lantern for a 60-foot,
Yeah.
a 20-foot cone and a 60-foot radius.
Okay, so which are you guys going to use, the lantern or the flashlight?
Which do you want me to use, Momo?
Why don't you hold the lantern, and I've got a spare hand. I can hold the flashlight in.
Okay.
So the lantern provides a 60-foot radius of bright light.
Whatever it does.
I haven't.
Increases light level by 1 step in an area, 20-foot cone for the flashlight, and the beacon portable light increases light area by 1 step in an area by 50-foot radius. Oh, it's 50.
5. Okay.
Pardon me. 50, not 60.
So if it's dim, it makes it bright, blah, blah, blah.
And since we also have a flashlight too.
And Momo has a flashlight. I'm just going to put Momo's in here.
Yeah, that's fine.
And that's Momo's, the flashlight does 20 feet?
Yep, 20-foot cone.
All right, well, it's just going to be a 20-foot circle because you can spin around. There is no specific back front.
I think there's a way to make it do that, but
yeah, I can do it on roll 20.
yeah,
But there's no specific facing in Starfinder, so there's
yeah,
no reason to force you guys to deal with that again. It was fun the one time. Let's see.
yeah.
As you're moving down the tunnel, those who are trained in engineering can give me a check as you examine the walls and the floors.
Oh. Lagging real bad.
Did engineering?
Hey, there's a lot of engineers in this group. All right, Adjutant and Alder, you both recognize that this passage was likely constructed with poor tools and weak acid. It's obvious that the sound of the sonomat machinery would have masked the noise of digging through this stone. After a few hundred feet, the tunnel ends at a spot where the diggers broke through the wall into the caves. Everyone sees the map?
Oh, you've mentioned it before. The swarm uses acid.
Absolutely. Many of them use acid, and they're almost all immune to it.
And the Sheeran, do they do the same thing?
Sheeran are not immune to acid, no.
Okay.
And they typically don't. They typically don't have any of the race Sheeran don't have any acid attacks naturally in their bodies. No.
They ain't got no acid.
So this room, I should probably read the room to you. An entire wall here is carved with intricate reliefs of strange insectoid figures in a precise style with minimal negative space. This is obviously where the scans came from. Some resemble known swarm creatures, but others are more obscure. All have oversized mandibles dripping with fluids. A large, modern crate, the top of which is pitted with acid burn, stands in the southeast corner of the room, with a trio of glass beakers arranged in front of it. To the north is the rough passage where you came through, and tunnels lead to the west and south, but have collapsed into rubble. Another tunnel to the east is covered with heavy plastic sheet sealed against the ceiling. So here's your plastic sheeting, and these are the collapsed tunnels.
Momo would like to take a quick look at the collapsed tunnels just to see if he can determine if there might be a way to safely blow up the rocks without damaging the walls.
All
Like
right.
maybe with only
Give
like a
me.
frag grenade one.
Let's see. Give me.
Engineering?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an engineering check. I'm just looking for where they have. I know they spoke about it, so.
I got a 19.
And I suppose if the scans aren't as detailed as what we see here, we could record more of it for
You could
Zonar.
absolutely.
That's not even necessarily for right now. I'm mostly thinking about it as, if we're gonna try to use this as as an emergency shelter, we should try to make it as big as possible so it can accommodate as many people as possible.
Right, right.
I'm not trying to make you make up an unmapped part of the mission as a GM.
No, it's fine. It's not. It's where does it talk about it? Oh, maybe it talks about it up here in the overall. Give me an engineering or physical science check, Momo.
Oh, sure. Well, we did the engineering check.
Yeah, that was for the passage coming in.
Oh, okay.
This is different.
I will do another one.
And you could also use physical science if it's better than engineering.
Nope, it is much worse.
I figured. Well, you specifically asked about the walls and looking at this stuff, so that's why you're making the check.
No, that's fine.
You note that the composition and the stability of the structure, it seems that the stone has been stabilized by massive injections of the chemical formula used above, and it makes that's the chemical formula that makes all of New Grok and the sediments not fall into sinkholes.
Mm-hmm.
This protects the rock from future erosion, but not from unaccustomed stresses. You're pretty sure that any attempt to remove the rubble from the collapsed passages without the use of appropriate machinery and sturdy ceiling supports would result in further cave-ins.
Got it. Gotcha.
The area is also likely riddled with sinkholes, underground waterways, and other hazards due to the unusual mineral concentrations in the stone. And you're not picking up the standard static frequencies that you normally get on the surface. There seems to be some kind of interference with your communications down here.
Telepathy.
Momo to say, I can't believe that I, of all people, am saying this, but I don't think I should try to blow up these rocks blocking the passages. Might be dangerous.
Danger is your middle name, Momo.
Yeah.
I do a medicine check on Momo to make sure he's okay.
I am all right.
He's caught the COVID.
He doesn't
I
blow things up.
Not for once.
As you guys look around this first cave and begin examining the caves, you note that the walls are quite smooth. Layers of sediment infused with fossilized remains of thousands of bioluminescent sea creatures. It gives off a cool green glow. Additionally, patches of electric blue bioluminescent lichen growing along the bases of the walls bathe the caverns in dim light, except for where you shine your bright lights. The tunnels are about 12 feet high, and the cavern itself is about 20 feet high. You hear the faint trickling sound of distant water.
Hey, who wants to check out that crate? It's a crate, right?
I'll do it.
It is.
Okay.
Examining the crate. Let's see. I think Alder, were you examining the markings on the walls?
Yes.
Give me a perception check. Yep. Give me a perception check regarding that. Perfect. You notice that some of the stylized swarm figures actually form words. It is in an ancient Shiran dialect, but you can make out the phrase "awakening to the nightmare." It seems these carvings suggest. Give me a culture check. Yeah. Though the markings were made with outdated laser technology, they are likely Shiran in origin, which you figured out, dating from early period in the Shiran Exodus. You're fairly certain the date is somewhere between 20 and 40 AG after Gap, so it's been a while. Also, the carvings suggest that the ancient Shirans used these caverns for a ritual purpose when they came to Utranis. And then, like I said, you note the stylized swarm figures that form the words "awakening to the nightmare." So, like, this is like when the Shirans first became conscious of their individuality and looking around and seeing the swarm, or what became known as the swarm, around them. This seems to be their starting point in their species journey from a hive mind to their individuality. And then someone was going to look at the crate.
Yeah, adjutant.
Yeah.
All right, adjutant. Let's see the crate. Where does it talk about that? All right, so the crate sits beneath a particularly gruesome depiction of a hunter swarm creature. It's appears to be outfitted with an electronic lock and is etched with the now familiar stylized insectile claw of the Reckoners. Atop and around the crate are detritus of rituals performed by probably Reckoners. It looks like they were dissolving small objects, perhaps even burning themselves in an attempt to gain resistance to acid, much as the swarm has immunity to it. Yes, Alder. The markings seem to have been made about 260 years ago.
That's pretty intense.
So they're purposely burning themselves to try to.
Well, it looks like people were doing something with the acid, but the crate seems to be. It's probably, it's. This area would have been a good place to run to in an emergency. So perhaps the crate is filled with emergency supplies or something. As I specified, it has an electronic lock, but you can take a look at it in more detail if you would like to with a perception check.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We need to
27.
find out if this isn't like a bomb set to blow up the entrance.
Well, adjutant, you know it's not a bomb, but it is rigged with an electronic device that would be triggered by someone attempting to unlock the crate without the proper key card.
Not on my watch.
You think you could bypass it with an engineering check?
How difficult does he think it is?
Or you think you could disable it and bypass it? Sadly, though, that check is not sufficient to disable it, but it did not set it off.
I will try again.
Trying to assist him.
Well,
Oh no.
Oh, okay, you assisted. Good. All right. So
I was handing them tools.
What?
Alder did not assist. Adjutant did not succeed again.
Got up to a 20, actually a 22 again with the one assist.
Yeah.
Hey. All right, I got an idea. I got these not super explosive grenades. Momo's indicating a Mark I frag grenade. It probably wouldn't damage the wall too much. I could just set it a little above it just to blow the top off the thing. Huh?
Yeah, I don't think you should do that.
All right.
Try it again.
Yeah, let's just jury rig it.
Hey.
Oh, damn.
There you go, Adjutant. After a couple of failures, you figure
Assistant.
out how to get the mechanism. Alder still has no clue. He keeps wanting to use explosives, but you know it needs a delicate touch. And you manage to disable the trap. Now all you got to do is unlock the crate, which you can take your time, and you're not going to have any penalties for failing at this point. So you spend a little bit of time and you crack the crate. As you guessed, it contains emergency medical supplies. There's an advanced med kit here.
I'm all
There's
giddy
3
now.
doses of spray flesh, 3 Mark 3 or Mark 2 healing serums
I'm gonna type this
as
down.
well. Hold on, I'm gonna copy paste all this stuff into Discord.
Okay, because I was typing it up. I
There you
don't
go.
type this real quickly.
There's a bunch of stuff there. All right.
Yeah, put the serums on.
If you want to delete that, I can edit. I can post it myself and edit it, Philip, so that you don't have to mess with it.
Okay. I'll
Sure. If you want to edit it, and then I'll go back and delete it after you've got it set up and whatnot.
Oh, nice.
All right. So you're taking the healing serums,
yeah.
all of them.
Yeah, because I can just shoot you guys with it.
Okay. What about the spray flesh?
I don't actually know what spray flesh does.
So spray flesh will allow you to utilize medical on a person again in a 24-hour period.
It'll
Okay.
also allow you to do treat deadly wounds as a combat action, I believe.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll take any and all medical stuff we.
Okay, so you're taking 3 Mark 3 or Mark 2 healing serums, 3 doses of spray flesh, and advanced med kit.
Ooh, we got a grappler in there? That's fun.
There's a lot of food supplies in here.
Yep.
It's an underground bunker for happiness.
Does that tier 3 computer have anything on it?
That's a good question. As you pull it out, you note that it is not currently turned on.
I turn it on and I hack it.
All right. It does appear to need a successful check. It's looking for you hack it. 31. You hack it. When you gain access to the computer, an audio message automatically plays. If you are hearing this, it is quite likely that the hall has been raided, and my lieutenants and I are dead. Comes the voice of Sister Spark. You and any other survivors have gathered here for safety as planned. However grim things look, you are in a far better position than the fools who never answered the swarm's call. The masters will show their gratitude for our efforts. Remain here until the hunt has died down, then resume operations. I've left records and equipment to assist you. This city will burn, but the pyre will please our new masters, and you will be rewarded. You note that the computer also contains the other records and data that you found in her computer back in the hall.
Okay, so it's not anything new. It's the same stuff we already had.
Yep.
Okay, because I was going to say we should go up and send it to, command and let them know if it was different. Yeah, I keep wanting to look for explosives and like everything. I was worried when Adjutant turned on the computer, it was going to blow up.
They were saboteurs. But,
Well, the way we are running into things.
Yep.
You can definitely tell from your mind.
all right. So, do you guys want to survey this chamber?
Oh yeah, son.
All right. In order to survey chambers, I need a engineering or survival check to reduce the time to do it if you want to do that, or it just takes 10 minutes and you succeed. So you can reduce the time. It doesn't even really matter. I mean, you're not pressed for time at all unless you're getting sleepy. So unless you tell me otherwise, you spend the engineering check and the survival checks reduce the time. You spend about 5 minutes, and you note that this chamber, being the closest to the surface, is really the only reasonable option for a communications center. A signal receiver could be placed here with data cables leading up to an antenna on the surface, allowing refugees to remain in contact with the SDF as long as the station here is maintained and operated.
Do we have the stuff to do that, or is that just something for future reference?
Oh, no, that's just notes.
Okay.
That's like things you would need to make a good base kind of notes. And with regard to the chamber, the only other exit from the chamber, besides the one you came through, is the plastic curtain. Erebus says, how about I wait here and guard our retreat in case any reckoners come?
It's a great idea.
Good job, Erebus. Thinking ahead.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna have Erebus here. We can still communicate within the caves, correct?
As far as you can tell currently.
Okay. Every time we go into a new room after we check it for enemies, I want to make sure we can communicate with Erebus.
All right, I'll let you know when you cannot. Or if you cannot. If, it's a touchy situation.
These two are completely blocked off?
Absolutely, they are completely filled with rubble, caved in.
Okay. Then I guess we go to the east, even though I can't see anything in that direction.
Oh, you see a plastic sheet. That little white line is a plastic sheet that's it's probably opaque. It's like a big plastic tarp hanging, sealed up against the ceiling, but it's easily pushed aside once you move towards it.
Is it sealed though?
To the ceiling, just to the ceiling.
Okay. Because if it's like airtight, we need to get all up in our armor and make sure we're not breathing in anything.
Well, it's not airtight, but do you want to get all up in your armor so you're not breathing anything anyway?
Yeah. Environmental protection's on.
What do you need to breathe for?
Do you have any reason not to?
Not really.
Not really,
It's
no.
your call. I mean, yeah. I would think that as soon as I went through that panel that Stelly pulled aside, I would have enacted my environmental protections just on the off chance.
Yeah.
I'm immune to inhaled poisons and stuff anyway, but hey, you never know. It could be cold in here.
You never know. So is anyone pushing aside the layer of plastic?
Come on, Momo.
Do it, Momo!
Yes. Oh, you got it.
All right. Pushing aside the layer of plastic, you note visible layers of sediment forming waving striations in the walls of this beautiful open chamber. Regular hollows have been carved in the walls to retain water and colonies of bioluminescent algae which light the chamber like organic lamps. Thick blue-grained lichens cover the floor Rising up in fern-like tendrils near the northern wall, flickering holographic displays line the southern walls, projected from hidden emitters. The westernmost display shows a meticulously ordered garden with flowers of every description, withering and growing anew in a never-ending cycle. The central display depicts a series of rolling hills covered with short grass. Every few moments, a herd of alien beasts passes through the landscape. Riddled with static, the easternmost display shows several terrifying long-legged creatures slowly surrounding a family of sleeping Shirin. The image resets just before they attack.
I want to definitely make sure we get recordings of that for Zelenon, because I think that's like history things for them. But let's go take a look at the plants, Momo.
You got it.
Let's take a look at it.
See if they're flammable.
All right. So these are the plants. What sort of check?
You can give me a life science check and a perception check, Momo and Alder.
I'll make a perception check. Life science has got to be trained, I imagine.
Yeah.
I can make life science.
All right. Does anyone else follow Momo and Alder into the room?
No. They can go in the creepy room with the weird green stuff.
Oh, by the way.
All right. Stella, you're the last to move. All right, everyone stop moving. Because what's going to happen is
Roll initiative.
you are going to roll initiative. But before you roll initiative, because Momo and Alder didn't spot it, some vines are going to lash out. And critically grab Momo.
Was I supposed to roll a perception check as well as the life science?
You could roll a perception check as well as a life science. You might have alerted Momo to the danger.
More fun this way.
But
Doesn't
did
matter.
not.
I didn't see shit anyways.
Yeah, you didn't see shit anyways. Momo, you take 29 points of damage.
Whoa!
And are grabbed as this creature appears out of the other fungus and leaps. Well, it shoots out vines that whip out and grab you.
He is
Now
he is definitely not a fun guy.
He's not going to be a fun guy, no.
Oh, God.
We was there.
They're garbage.
Whoa.
Wow. Being at 20th in a row, what?
All right, Alder. You get the first whack at this thing. I'm actually going to use your life science from earlier. 24. So that's not bad. You as you're looking around at the other vegetation, as this vine comes whipping out, you look up, and this is what you've heard of called a feeder fungus. It's an ambulatory plant that actually attacks and consumes. And the one thing you know that is most disturbing about it is its necrotic spores. However, you're fairly certain that your environmental protections will protect you all from the spores. So it's good that you have those up already. You also know that it launches fungus pods at creatures as a ranged attack. Additionally, let's see, does it have... you also know that it is vulnerable to fire. There you go.
I definitely let everybody know that it's vulnerable to fire to make sure that their environmental protections are, good to go as this thing hasn't acquired spores. And then I vomit, or I get him, and damage disinfect genetic. Okay, and then I shoot it with a what is it called? Clever attack.
That's going to do it. Let's see. That's a 20, 27. That succeeds. $20 is enough to hit it with piercing. And if you're done, you can hit done. Adjutant, this fungus just pops up and starts attacking Momo.
Let's come over here. See if got hits a minus.
Oh yeah, that's gonna hit. -2 armor class, is that what you said?
Yeah. Oh right, I forgot about that.
All right, Tari.
You will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go up to here. Attack it.
All righty.
Weapon. One second. I don't remember. I'll figure it out later. I get him, so +1, but I don't think it's gonna matter.
It's yeah, with get him it's +1, which is 13, and then it's flat-footed and had its armor class reduced.
I might do it
So
then. I'm
it's
not sure.
it's at -4. KAC. No, it's still your attack
enough.
is still deflected. Yeah.
Okay. What figures, but
However, with that, the fungus withdraws its tendril from Momo and begins thrashing at you instead, Tari, as you are the most critical threat to it at the moment. How many tendrils? It's gonna multi-attack with the tendrils. Well, not multi-attack, but attack twice. That's the first attack, unsuccessful. Second attack is successful.
Yeah.
All right, 12 points.
Ow.
But it looks like it's just successful, probably. Only a little bit, so it doesn't actually get to grab you.
Okay. It's only by 2, so.
Yep. All right, Stelly. They're fighting the plants.
I'm gonna shoot this fuck
All right. What are you going to shoot it with?
with my fire laser.
Kill it with fire! That's going to kill it with fire. That's going to do a lot of damage anyway. It's a good hit for 17 points, right? 16 points.
Oh, is it?
It's vulnerable.
Okay, so it gets 50% more?
Yep.
Yep.
Half again. And if you're done, you can let Momo go. There we go.
I'll forget to hit that.
Okay. Tari's not providing soft cover to it, is she?
Not from you, no, I don't think so. Looks like you can hit all of its corners.
Artillery laser twice. Right. Just gonna put -3 on it because of get 'em.
Yeah. All right, well, hit. So that's going to be 12 and 18, right? 30 points of damage.
Damage.
Momo eradicates the fungus with fire.
Momo's a fun guy.
Took out almost all my stamina points.
All right. So that was the combat. That was that combat. Now you have time to look around the room.
Can we take 5?
Yeah, you need 5?
Yeah, I need to pee. Get some more bubbly water.
Sounds good. Let's take 10.
Yeah, while the players are
Maybe
taking
Arabis will
5,
be here.
I was gonna say while the players are taking 5, can the characters take 10 so I can get my stamina back?
Yeah.
Anybody
I'm fine with
object?
that, too.
You got the shit smacked out of you, my man.
Yeah. It took out almost all my stamina. It was 29 points of damage.
Tari got smacked a little bit too.
Yeah, I did.
She did?
I probably recovered 2, but I can hit 12.
Resolved.
Alrighty, yeah, take 10. Maybe Erebus will be here when we get back.
Alright.
In the initiative order, so I just went ahead and grabbed some food while you guys were all going.
Oh,
It's like
I
a
did
game.
lower the word of headset when we weren't in any place that you just a math really.
It's like a guarantee. I've got the highest initiative modifier, so of course I'm gonna roll garbage on every initiative roll.
Yeah, that's how it usually works.
Yep.
With 3 natural 20s in that one.
I know, it's crazy. All I can say is I'm really excited about getting to level 5 because I'm gonna get a machine gun, and I'm gonna get an ability at level 5 that's gonna let me add my strength modifier to damage
Oh.
when I use a weapon with the automatic tag.
Ah.
Oh, bombards.
Yep.
Cool. I
Yeah.
don't remember what I gained at level 5, but I'm sure it's useful. I gained a feat at least.
Yeah, as a full action, I can make a single ranged attack that deals additional damage equal to my strength bonus to all targets, and I can use that ability in conjunction with automatic explode or unwieldy special properties.
Oh.
So I could make a machine gun attack, which is normally only 1d6, but I can add a +3 to the damage on everything, and I can hit a bunch of shit.
What's that from, you said?
That's from the Bombard soldier type.
Ah, nice.
And that's in addition to my already, bonus with the dex.
Yeah.
So it's I'm very excited about it.
Nice.
Wait to get me next level a battle harness.
Ooh.
actually rock out with one of those goblin ones. Was it the level 2 power armor that the goblins have?
It's
Oh,
all
no,
before.
Scrap rig or something.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but I think it's 4.
Ooh, or if I have enough money, I'll get a tactical X-Gen gun.
Did you guys sell that power armor you picked up as you were fleeing the planet?
I don't think we've sold it yet, but honestly, the load lifter is not that great.
Yeah, it's just you can modify it and whatnot. So I don't know. Whatever you want to do. The battle harness is definitely the way to start out, though. I think.
Yeah, it actually has an EAC bonus. So, and it's a little faster. So we should probably get rid of that one and.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's got a nice strength bonus, but
Well, because it's used for picking up heavy things.
yeah, but that's all it's good for. Dudes, my max dex bonus stuff applies to power armor too.
Nice.
Nice.
Is anyone not back?
Oh, I'm here.
I'll just make it official with X's. Since it's only been 5 minutes.
Yeah. I could grab more food, but
And Momo said that he went when everyone else was fighting, so.
Yep. Yeah, I'm good.
We're back. All right. So, you guys clear out the evil fungus. Alder's able to explain to you all that this is a feeder fungus. It's one of the rare, purely organic natives of Eutranius, and had apparently made this room its lair.
It's no longer. It's now layered on the floor.
Yeah,
Hey,
I would say probably a good chunk of the other fungus is burned away from the laser blast as well.
So is there any chance of that thing or one of its buddies coming back in here? We wouldn't want it surprising people who were trying to shelter.
Yeah. It's like an ogre. It's got layers.
Very good.
Yeah, you're pretty sure after taking some time to rest and survey the chamber, you note that if the organic material was carefully removed, this chamber is large enough to store generators or hydroponic tanks, water filtration systems, or some other bulky equipment to support a camp.
What are them glowing things on the side?
Those are the holograms.
Those are holograms. The Western display showing the ordered garden with flowers,
And
the
the
central
shrimp.
one depicting the rolling hills with the alien herd beasts, and then the easternmost one is the most, horrific, with the long-legged creature slowly surrounding a family of sleeping Shirans before it cuts out and restarts the image.
So this room is just an empty room, or now it's empty. It just doesn't go anywhere.
It does not appear to go anywhere, Stelly.
Anyone want to search, see if one of these walls is, I don't know, fake, a secret or something? I mean, I'll look. Can I use engineering maybe to see if there's any sort of trick with any of these walls? Or only perception?
Well, you can let me know which wall you're checking.
I'm going to check the wall,
Give
right?
me a will save
Wait, give you a will save?
to disbelieve illusion.
Oh.
If you think there's something, you think there might be a false wall, that's kind of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wall is very solid, Momo.
Okay.
Others of you can look around. You can give me perception checks to see what else might be in this room. If anyone desires, you can give me a culture check regarding the holograms that are playing, the hollow scenes. Alder, what happened with your culture?
I rolled a 6. I've been rolling like shit the last few rolls.
Yeah.
I rolled a 6 on the last roll. And a 4 on the roll before that.
Yeah, not much is gleaned from the holographic images. But you... There you go, Momo. Give me the will save. You're pretty sure you feel wall here. Stelly, as you approach the wall, you see it kind of flicker and fuzz a little bit, as if it were not really substantial.
This wall is fake.
This wall fake. This is a fake wall. Momo, you don't believe him. It looks absolutely real.
Can I just walk through it then?
Yeah, you can kind of just walk through it then. Is that what you're going to do? You're going to kind of walk through it then? Yeah, you kind of walk through the other side of the wall. And you see a darkness. It's fortunately you have dark vision. So as the light is completely blocked out by the illusion behind you, you can kind of see them through it. You can see the rest of your party. But the space beyond you is just darkness.
On my telepathy, them let them know that it's fine.
Momo's having a fit, saying, "Stelly just walked into a solid wall. How could that be? Stelly's incorporeal."
Stelly, you note that the hallway slopes down and turns to the left at a fairly steep angle. It's difficult to walk here. The floor feels kind of crumbly, and with that steep incline, it definitely poses difficult terrain for you.
Well, luckily, I'm going to stay put until the rest of my party joins me.
All right.
Because I have no wish to die alone.
Die alone, right?
Is there anything else we can do with this fungus chamber?
You've already surveyed it for the SDF. You failed your checks to find the interesting stuff. Unless you want to spend an extensive amount of time searching, and then you could probably find them. Maybe call Stelly back and do a thorough search of the area. You're not in any kind of time crunch that you know of, so that would not be unreasonable.
Yeah, why not?
Adjutant taking 20, or not even taking 20, with that roll, you finally find the holographic emitters, which you suspected must have been there all along, in the floor and ceiling of these areas. And checking where Stelly said the wall was fake, you find the ones there too. They appear to be hybrid devices. You can give me engineering or mysticism checks to identify the the tech involved with the holographic emitters. That'll work. They are, in fact, hybrid items. They're a bit outdated compared to current tech, but their magical components have been kept them functioning and free from decay for centuries. Working together, the emitters produce a holographic image, which is what you're seeing there. The third one being the wall. You could dismantle some of the emitters or one of the emitters, probably just the passage one. And additionally, you can download the images from the emitters so that you can represent these displays to others.
Yeah,
that will take a computer's check. Yeah, that'll take a computer's check to download the data from the emitters. That's sufficient. And if you wish to dismantle any of the emitters, you can do so with a engineering check to salvage the interiors.
Can I do that from
They
here?
look like you can't do it from there, Stelly. You would need to join the other
Can I stab
emitters
them?
on the other side of the wall.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
All right, Adjutant, you do one. That gets you one of them, and you're able to salvage a spell gem of holographic image, first level, and the holographic display for the wall shuts down.
I can try to help.
Hey guys, how you doing?
But
You said but.
as you complete your work on that one, you notice that the holographic emitter will no longer function.
That's okay. We downloaded.
You did.
You're still destroying cultural heritage.
I mean,
Man,
it's your
jeez.
guys' call. Momo, what were you engineering?
Oh, I thought you said we could try to get 2 of them.
You can try and dismantle as many of them.
That's
as
what
there
I was
are.
trying to do.
So you were trying to dismantle another one?
Mm-hmm.
You break it.
Sorry, I break it. Oops.
As you're dismantling the emitter, you slip and you shatter the crystal, the spell gem that was inside. It turns to dust.
Whoopsies.
Can we
And
leave
another one of
last
the
one?
displays is non-functioning. What was that?
I asked if we could just leave the last one.
You can. I mean, it's just presenting a display on the wall.
Oh,
Well, if we're done in this room,
Adjutant, give me a medicine check.
yeah, it's,
Yeah. So based on what Alder told you of that feeder fungus and its necrotic spore pods, you're pretty sure that those could be harvested and used to synthesize sedatives to supplement the city's stockpile of emergency supplies. And your check nets. What's that?
They harvest a spore or something?
Yeah, you harvest a spore pod, which is worth which could be worth up to 3,000 credits to the city.
Ooh.
You want to try to get some more of those?
As many as I can.
It doesn't tell me if there's an amount you can get. I guess each of you could try once if you wanted to. A medicine or survival check.
Hey,
Is there
survival.
any chance of us messing it up?
Well, yeah, sure. You could cut the pod and dump all the powder out. Dump all the spores out.
Let's see. Do we have to be trained in medicine?
You would need to be trained in medicine.
Got
Well, it is a
survival.
class
Survival.
skill, but I have no ranks in it, and a -1.
I'm gonna
I'm
say-
trained in medicine.
Let's see. Stella gets one. I'm gonna say that there was only one pod. Um,
Oh,
it
fine.
regenerates the pod. It's kind of like a breath weapon. It only has them once every 1d4 rounds, so it's already dead. So it's not going to grow anymore. So you get one pod.
Fine.
Yeah.
I haven't trained in actually medicine. So. We need that.
Yeah, it says a character can harvest a single spore pod from a helpless or dead feeder fungus. So,
Oh,
Okay.
because otherwise it would be way too crazy much loot.
Oh yeah, I know. It would just be like it'd be like a glitch. We could just get 3,000 every 1d4 rounds or
So,
something.
did
No,
I
that
did
would
I
be-
harvest it?
We're rich.
No, it was
No.
already harvested, Stelly.
Oh, who harvested it? Adjutant?
Yes.
Adjutant got it with his medicine. check,
Cool.
yeah.
oh.
So you pick up the 3,000, but it was and as you look, the mechanical light from the remaining holograms and the natural light from the lichen and stuff, as you look down the tunnel, it goes away. It's almost absorbed into the passageway itself. The passage is unnaturally dark.
Oh.
So even with our lantern and flashlight, it's not brightening it.
As you shine the lantern and flashlight into that tunnel ahead, the light disperses as it enters the tunnel. And as you take the lantern and the flashlight itself in there, the light is dimmed to nothingness.
But dark vision's okay?
Yeah, it's unnaturally dark, but it's still just dark. So, but based on the slope and the curvature of the wall, you can't tell how far the passage goes with dark vision.
Well, I'm gonna go carefully.
You can tell because of where the map is. But yes, moving carefully is the key thing because of the crumbling floor and the 45-degree incline, making the terrain difficult.
Go help my daughter real quick.
No problem.
Boy, this looks dangerous.
Well, as you're looking around, those with dark vision, because Alder and Momo, you guys can't see.
Nope.
Do I need to take your lights away?
I guess so.
Because I can do that.
I can't see nothing.
You should probably let somebody that can see go first, Momo.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it is just that dark there for you guys. Whereas Stelly can see down and see that the passage turns. And Tari should be able to see it, and Adjutant can see it, because they all have dark vision.
No fair.
They can lead you guys along, though. Tari and Adjutant and Stelly, if you guys want to make perception checks to see what else you see in this tunnel, you can.
Seen shit.
Yeah, it's dark. You're being cautious. You're not looking around for too much.
Is it like advantageous for us to use like rope?
Maybe to or some of that cable to keep
Yeah.
track of.
That's what I'm
people.
saying.
Yeah, you could do that.
Like cable? Do we? Everybody hold this cable. So if one of us falls, we could save them. Maybe.
Find somewhere to hook it into.
You just hold on to it really good.
So the bioluminescent moss isn't present in this passage, which is part of the reason it drops into darkness. But it also sucks up your light. Where the hell did it? All right, there's where I wanted to see what it was to say. Adjutant, you don't notice it, but Tari is able to see that there are hand and footholds carved into the wall several feet off the ground. It looks like they could be used to move down the passageway without having to touch the floor.
Nice.
And Tari is able to point those out to the others that have dark vision and can actually see it.
Yeah, we did get all that cable with the grappler, so maybe we could use that, and I could grab the end of the rope if it's tied to somebody with dark vision. So,
I mean, that's
Yeah,
what I was
exactly.
saying. You
Follow
know,
the
so
leader.
we're
Yeah.
being safe. Safety
Yep.
first.
You guys want me to like maybe throw a grenade down there just in case there's something at the bottom making it dark? just thinking out loud. I don't like not being able to see.
I don't like going 30 minutes without an explosion.
Is anyone trained in mysticism?
Sorry,
Aren't
maybe?
you Tari?
Yeah,
Is
I
yeah.
am.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a
Go
point.
ahead and
to
give
that.
me a roll, Tari. Let's see if you can tell what's going on. You get a sense that there's some kind of enchantment here that is blocking light. It seems it seems to be only blocking natural and technological lighting. You guys don't have any magic lighting, so you get the feeling that magical lighting might not be extinguished. Does anyone have a light spell or anything? I don't think anyone has any spells. You guys
I
don't
have
have any mystics. You have spells?
Yeah.
I'm a mystic, remember?
Oh, you are a mystic. That's right. Do you have the light spell?
Momo cast grenade.
Sadly, I do not think I do. I have telepathic message, David Live, detect magic, token act, projectile, and token spell.
Forklift needed, so makes sense.
Yeah, all four of them.
Yeah, if we can find the source of it, though.
Yeah.
Anybody want to see if they can find out where it's coming from, then?
Yeah, I guess next thing to do is just start heading down.
Again, like I mentioned, it's a fairly steep slope with a crumbly floor, making it difficult terrain. So, hey, there's our friend Erebus.
Hello.
Hi, good evening. Glad you could make it. So, quick recap. You guys interrogated Sister Spark. She kept telling you it was useless to resist the swarm and you should join them and her. You went through her compound. You found some information. The gang found out about these caves beneath a temple to Hylax in New Graka. And you guys found an entrance in an old sauna mat. That's a laundromat that uses sound to clean clothes. And you found a secret passage that the Reckoners had found. And you guys moved in and started checking the place out. The first room was pretty benign. There was a modern crate that the Reckoners left behind with a trap. but you were able to. The trap was disarmed, and you got a lot of supplies out of it. They had taped up a plastic curtain separating the next room from that room, which, once you go in, you see the remains of a burned fungus and a single projector showing a scene of a orderly rows of flowers and fields. And then you see the rest of the group just at the start of an incredibly dark passage that is absorbing all of the natural and technological light that is brought into it.
That's weird. Did we heal up at all before coming down here?
Oh yeah. We've had a long. We slept.
Yeah, you took a night. You got healed up by the infirmary and everything else.
Yeah, you can top off all your stuff.
And they had kind of left you back there to guard the entrance, but you can change your mind.
Hey, Erebus, can you see in the dark?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Pretty well.
Yeah, me and Alda can't.
Erebus, as you enter the hallway and start looking around in the dark, give me a perception check. All right, you don't notice anything. You do notice handholds in the walls, several feet off the ground. They could be used to traverse the hallway without touching the ground. If you wanted to play the floor as lava or something.
Show, by the way.
Do the handhelds look pretty well used?
And they look stable. There's what you've found is this place was established probably 260 years ago or cycles ago or whatever. And it doesn't look like anything has been beyond the last room in much of that time. The handholds they look more carved than naturally occurring. So they were placed with some intention. But it doesn't look like they've seen any use in a long time.
Can I specifically check the ground, kind of where the handholds start, to see if something might trigger?
Yeah, give me a perception check looking for traps.
Perception? It's even worse.
Yeah, you don't find anything. You note that the group has passed out a cable, and everyone is, or anyone that wishes to, is holding on to it. Momo is specifically, he's probably using 3 to 4 hands to hold on to the cable.
He's going all 6 with it.
Yep.
Well, if he goes all 6, he can't hold any weapons.
That's true. Well, it's alright. I can go 4. Still hold my artillery laser.
And they're trying to figure out who's going to go down the passageway and find out why it's so dark.
Shit, I'll go.
Well, it's not going to be Momo or me.
I guess I'm going to crawl
Nope.
on the handholds.
All right, give me an athletics check.
Shit, why you gotta do that to me?
Because it's climbing, but it's easy.
Well,
Or than
damn.
normal. You're able to move at half speed along the handholds.
Up top or is it on the bottom ones? Is it up
It's
here or is it down here?
it's kind of both sides. I would say it's both sides. While as you climb up to and begin traversing the handholds, you note what was it? Carvings. Looks like a series of mathematical equations, perhaps astrogation charts, carved high up on the walls.
Hey, we got some maps on the walls here. You might want to take some pictures. With the camera I don't have.
You could make a physical science or piloting check to understand their meanings. Yeah, with that, you've done this stuff before. The carvings are calculations required to astrogate a starship. it's impossible from what you see to tell the vehicle's starting location. But as you progress further down the tunnel, the equations appear to go from focusing on shorter journeys to more confident calculations for extended trips. And you see that the tunnel appears. Let's see. Do you see finally? It's pretty far down there, but there does appear to be a light source. Actually, you probably wouldn't see it because the tunnel would suck it up. But the tunnel does appear to continue for some distance.
Are we like restricted on how fast? I mean, I'm going half speed, but you know.
Yeah. Again, there's no real time limits. You're not in combat rounds, so you could give me. I'm fine. Your athletics check is a +2, so give me an athletics check for every double movement you make. See if you fall off the wall.
Do I have to make double movements? Can I just make single movements?
Well, I meant like two
Every round.
Every 2 movement actions. Every round you move.
Well, who else is coming with me? Because y'all just staying back there watching me like traverse the spider monkey wall here.
If you
Maybe,
need athletics checks.
Tari, you understand this magic stuff. Do you want to go along?
Stelly, you fall off there.
Can we take 20 in?
Actually, that probably shouldn't
Nope.
go along. I do that.
You cannot take 20 on climbing checks
No.
because
I don't
there
think
is
that's
consequences
what
of
I
failing.
Alright, man.
Yeah, I
All right, adjutant's no
Oh,
good at
no.
climbing.
I'm terrible at it.
I'm actually
Adjutant,
pretty
um,
decent.
well, we
as
hooked
you
up
as
I
you
can't
were
see.
starting, adjutant, as you were starting, you fall off the wall. Give me a as you come to the ground. The floor actually falls out from under you. Give me a reflex save.
Well, we have that cable set up too, right?
Yep, I'm taking that into account.
It's not terrific.
It's not good enough. Even with the cable, as you fall off the wall, your grip on the cable falters, and you're unable to grab the wall in time. You fall about 20 feet, taking 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you land. And now you are 20 feet down.
Wait, so
Oh,
it
man.
fell through the floor?
Well, there's a hole. It looks like the brittle surface was just covering up this pit, and as adjutant landed on it, it broke apart, and she fell into this pit.
A lot of noise going
It's
on. What's
possible there
happening?
could be more.
Are there a bunch of rocks around?
There are, I mean, there's rubble around. What are you trying to do?
Just get quite a few good-sized pieces of rubble and rock and just toss it in front of us along all the floor. See
Roll
what breaks
roll
through.
it down the hill. Roll it down the hill. It doesn't seem to be any large pieces. There's a bunch of small pieces. As I said, like the floor's kind of crumbly.
Okay. Anything?
You could move very slowly, checking every square for 2 minutes, being absolutely certain of its stability. And I would allow you to take 20 on your perception checks to find the other holes,
Oh,
or any other holes that might be there.
I wish I could just video game this with the falling floors and just run over everything fast enough.
Yep.
If you made the reflex saves, that would work.
Yep. So we still have no sign of the source of this darkness. And now our rope is being stretched between Stelly and the rest of us. So, do we have another cable we could lower for adjutant?
I think I have some rope. I do have some rope.
How long is that cable, though? I think you guys got like 50 feet.
Yeah, we got 50 feet.
50 feet of titanium alloy cable. You're only, I mean, we could say that adjutant's cable, the cable slipped out of everyone else's hands and she fell in there. So she's still attached to the cable, and you guys are holding the end of it, Momo.
Can I pull her up?
You can assist her climbing out. Yeah, I mean, you take your time. She climbs out. I'm not.
10-4.
It's a DC 20 to climb the pit, but with the rope, with the cable and assistance and everything, I don't have an issue with her just coming out of the pit.
Would I get any bonuses to my reflex if I'm expecting things to break underneath me as I run across it?
Basically, I've already told you can just say you're going to take your time moving through this hallway and find all the pits. I'm not gonna drop. You know there's a pit now. You guys can move as slow as it takes to find them.
Yes.
If you want to take 20 for every square, if you just want to roll and then chance it, I'll let you do that too. But then there's a possible of falling in.
No, I think we should take 20 for the entire thing. It might take us a couple hours, but
Well,
you thoroughly scout the hallway, and you note that in its current state, the passage is unsafe for pedestrian traffic. To start with, magical lighting would need to be installed to banish the darkness, or someone would need to figure out how to dispel the enchantment that is currently causing it, which is beyond your guys' pay grade at the moment. Additionally, you can give me a culture engineering check.
we're gonna have to go through this thing like a minefield and like probe each square.
Exactly. You guys see what Alder gets here. See if you guys actually recall it.
well, we can't see.
Yeah, you can give me a culture check, Alder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Alder recalls that New Graco was famously founded when engineers discovered a chemical formula to stabilize the brittle limestone surfaces of Utranus. Most likely, the city's civil corps will be able to stabilize this flooring once they get in here. But for now, you guys have to take it easy and avoid all of the pits.
So, as far as we can tell at this point, do we know where this darkness ends?
At the end of the hall.
Oh, okay.
I
With the
am turning
handhold,
your lights back on just to facilitate when you get to the end of the hall.
yeah, no, I dig that. Can I just ask Phil, will the handhold, given that the handholds are there and can be felt and don't necessarily have to be seen, can Momo climb down this hallway without seeing? I mean, would that give me a significant
I think
penalty?
it would be difficult. You
Maybe increase
I
the
don't
DC?
think the climb DC would be any more increased. I think I would just make it take longer. So, I mean, at this
Momo's
point,
going to
I've already
be
told
impatient.
You guys can move to the
I've
end
got
of the
a-
hallway.
I've got a +6 in acrobatics.
Climbing is athletics.
I meant athletics. Actually, I'm sorry. I have a +8 in athletics.
The DC is normally 15. So
So I'd have to roll 7 or higher multiple times.
My question
Right.
is, does Living Avision with their reflex save almost not fall in the hole? Do they almost catch themselves?
Well, if we're willing to take a while, we can just go through the hall. So let's just do that.
almost. I'm not going to sit here and make you guys deal with these 4 pit traps when you
Yeah.
can just pass through them. It's not significant enough to be a bother. You get to the next chamber and note the floor here has been smoothed out, except in several places where the stone has been formed into low benches. Niches have been carved into the southwestern wall directly under another intricate boss relief showing Shirin figures mingling with other humanoid figures. Passages exit to the east and west, as well as to the sloping passage to the north where you came in. East and west. I guess you came in from the east passage, and there's a west passage and a north passage, which goes to another small chamber. Come on down and join the party, Tari.
Oh, sorry.
Busy playing her Atari.
Can I find anything in this room?
Erebus, entering that room, you notice the sound of dripping water is muted in this side cavern. A small shrine is set up against the eastern wall. Its front, a simpler, older holographic display showing what appears to be a list of names. A package wrapped in brown paper sits next to a small metal bowl holding a half-burned stick of incense on the shrine. A poem has been carved into the western wall. The only exit is from where you came to the south.
Fresh or no?
You said there's a bag.
Erebus, I forgot to mention, you guys were directed by Commander Najiri to investigate these caves, clear out any dangerous wildlife, and do survey to see if there is any survey the caves to determine if it will be a good emergency bunker location.
Okay. You said there's a brown bag here that was there?
There is, in fact, a package wrapped in brown paper sitting next to a metal bowl which holds a half-burned stick of incense on the shrine.
And a poem?
There is a poem carved into the western wall.
I rubbed my hands together. I'm opening that package carefully.
All right, let's see here.
Pull a knife carefully. Open it. Where is anything popping out?
Give me a perception check.
Not bad.
All right. Give me a will save. All right. And you note that the package contains, as you lift up this paper wrapped package, you feel kind of a tingle run through your body, but no pain, nothing significant. You unwrap it and you find what appears to be a figurine of an electrovore made of obsidian.
Let's see. Has anyone else come into this room yet?
No. They're in the other room, still looking around.
Just slide that in a pocket. Is it somewhat small or is it large?
It's a figurine. It's somewhat small. It could fit in a pocket, be hidden somewhere.
Our buddy might want that one.
Our buddy doesn't know about it. Neither do you.
Do not indeed know about it.
Erebus, you guys did speak with Zelenon before coming down here, and he was curious about the history of the place and whatnot. Specifically, like stuff like that poem or the astrogation charts on the walls, and the other rooms had writings on them as well. Alder, looking around this room, give me a culture check.
Bueller.
Actually, you automatically know this, so I don't know if Alder, are you with us, Zach?
Screw.
He did ask if the incense was new or old, but he hasn't entered that room, so he can't really tell.
I don't know. He's muted.
Yeah, he's been muted. I think.
He's been typing, I think, mostly.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's been doing that because I know the last time there was other people around.
Oh,
Yep, there he's typing.
here we go.
All right, so he's present. I I think he's present. Anyway, Alder is able to inform you all that this boss relief symbolizes the Shiren's contact with friendlier races of the galaxy, integrating with civilizations such as those on Suskalon. I will need a perception check from him or anyone else observing the stylized markings.
Wow.
And Adjutant is able to point out the symbols that appear to be words once again. And +4 to Alder's check was enough as well. So you see that you find these words, and again, it's the ancient Shiren language. This time it says, "The dawn of friendship."
Oh, ain't that sweet?
No. What's the name of the temple above us?
House of Friendship.
House of Friendship. Mm-hmm.
You don't actually think there's any specific connection. Merely that friendship is one of the key tenets of Hylax.
Okay. It just seems like, friendship.
Yeah. There's definitely some connections, but it's more spiritual than anything else you think. Let's see. Surveying this room, you note that the benches could be made into makeshift beds for a potential infirmary of some sort. In the memorial room, I have a picture for you. As you enter that room, that's the paper wrapped package. They've drawn the incense lit, but it's not lit. It's old. However, the shrine does have the small holographic display. As you note, if you don't know it, Alder can tell you that is in fact the symbol of Hylax. And the poem on the wall is written in Shiren, though some of the words have been partially smoothed away due to erosion and people touching the wall, slowly having an effect on it. The majority of the verses are still legible, though, Alder. And who else? Adjutant also spoke Shiren. They reference loss and mourning, but also growth and change, and grief giving way to the need to move on. You guys can give me mysticism or culture checks to deduce more about the words. Additionally, you can give me mysticism checks or culture checks regarding the shrine itself. Regarding the poem, you note that it's important to Shiren culture and Hylaxian faith in general. And Alder is not sure about the list of names.
What about Adjutant with that nat 20?
That was good for the poem.
Oh, okay.
I would need a separate check regarding the shrine with its list of names. And that's going to be good enough. You deduce that while examining a holographic display, you can tell the names seem to be those of Shiren's, and they appear to be organized in columns, each headed with the name of a starship. Some columns are longer than others. This appears to be some sort of memorial.
Must be Dem's the one that didn't make it. It's a
taking a few moments, you're able to survey this chamber. and note that it would be usable as is. It's a nice quiet sanctum. Refugees could meditate or pray within this room, which would help increase morale. Of course, anyone using the space would be best served by being made aware of its spiritual and memorials significance.
So
Right,
if I want
Erebus?
to point something out, I know it's not actually relevant because the game says it's not, but there's no way in fucking hell you could use this room as an infirmary and then have people walk through whatever they wanted to go pray or be alone or whatever.
That's right, not sanitary.
Not in its current state, no.
No, because there's no entrance. There's no way. You have to walk through
It's
the
too
infirmary.
much of a thoroughfare, is what he's saying. Too many people will have to walk in and out just to move around.
Well, yeah, it's all theoretic anyway. It's not. It's a game, Zach.
Being logical, damn it.
I want to check the integrity of if a bomb were to fall on top of it or whatever. Does it look like everything will crumble?
As stated initially, the walls are fairly strong, much like the other structures in New Graka. They've been stabilized by the chemical injections. However, significant blasts would have detrimental effects. Primarily clearing collapsed passages is going to require the appropriate tools and mechanisms to prevent further collapses. Off to the west, the western passage, as you move south, you can see that it opens up into a very large chamber. You note a short, narrow passage opens into a large cavern with a ceiling nearly 40 feet overhead, supported by several stone columns. A short drop of about 5 feet to a water-covered floor is presented in front of you, Erebus. You note clusters of stalactites hanging from the ceiling and stalagmites poking up from the shallow expanse of water, covering much of the chamber's floor. The source of which appears to be a small waterfall cascading from a hole near the ceiling in the western end of the cave. And on the far west end of the cave, you might notice a passage near the ceiling.
How deep is the water?
It doesn't appear to be very deep at all, though it would pose some hindrance to acrobatic checks to tumble.
So, for those of you with dark vision, I'm going to point this out. I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like there's lights coming from that room, because I can see further in that room than a lot of the rest of this cave.
Yep.
Yes, the far tunnel, or you're saying, you're talking about the light from over here?
Yes, it looks like it's lit up from over that direction.
That's how you can actually see that there's a tunnel. That tunnel is up near the ceiling, about 30 feet off the floor.
Would that be high enough to be close to the surface?
No, because you had that sloping, slippery passageway with the pits. Went deep into the structure.
That's what I figured.
Okay. You just jumped 40 feet down?
No, she jumped 5 feet.
Oh, I thought it was 40 feet down.
No, it's 40 feet up.
Okay, my bad.
The ceiling is 40 feet. The ceiling is 40 feet. Here, actually, let me put that on the map layer. There you go. The ceiling is 40 feet high in this cavern, and this entrance is 5 feet off the floor. The other one on the west side is 30 feet off the floor. Erebus, don't move anymore. Everyone else can take a move if you want to come into the room.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
I had a feeling someone was up. I'm like, I'm gonna
Glitch.
look around this select. I can't see past anything over there.
So
Has
I'm
a-
good with your movement.
I'll stay here on the edge.
Okay. As you begin entering into the room, the small waterfall begins to erupt in a huge spray, and a beast appears from within it. Roll initiative.
It's a snake shark.
Thing.
Definitely appears to be a snake shark. I'm actually not going to get into this combat this time, only because we're about 8 minutes from end of session, and this guy could pose some significant harassment to you guys, being what he is. And there's only a couple of rooms left, so we will definitely finish this book next session.
Nice.
So you guys will be level 5 after this book. So you can certainly plan for that. Let me make sure before I do anything silly here. Let me make sure that my app, my silly little API isn't going to delete the turn order.
I hope not. I finally rolled it.
When it closes. Yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted to change. All right. And then I will add this dude's initiative, and that will start combat. So the first person will be Momo when we come back in 2 weeks.
I'm gonna throw my improvised pheromone grenade at it.
Is that really what you're going to do?
Yes, it's really what I'm gonna do.
Sweet. What does that do again?
It will make him, I believe, fascinated for a round if he fails a DC 15 will save.
Cool. All right.
Yes, he'll be fascinated for 1 round.
So the thing splashes through the waterfall, and Momo quickly grabs a grenade and begins to throw it. And we'll definitely find out what happens next time.
All right. I've been excited to use this thing ever since I switched it out. We got all those frag grenade Mark IIs, so I decided to switch to the improvised pheromone grenade.
Sure, why not? It sounds like fun.
There you go.
All right, cool. Thanks for the game, GM.
Indeed.
Absolutely. Thank you
Sorry
guys for
about being
playing.
late.
Not a problem. I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this this different style of a dungeon kind of with the story, and you're going to get to some more finale type story next time. The journey of the Sheeran from the swarm to where they are now.
The gurney.
The gurney?
Yeah.
We need those in the infirmary.
Yep. All right, good night, guys.
That everybody walks through. Good night,
everyone.
Mike.